Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Sean Diddy Combs, you sitting there fantasizing about eating food. Y'all, they said that Diddy is on a hunger strike. I do want to say before we get into all the details, because you know your girl got them. It's hunger strike for people that like we care whether something happens to you. Other people say that's just an excuse. He's not on a hunger strike. Diddy is worried he about to get that Epstein special. But you know who else is worried? Diddy's family, Diddy's kids. And I know what y'all saying. Of course, his family is going to be worried. But why are they leaking details about the call to his family to People Magazine? Again, his lawyers keep trying to run this sympathy campaign for someone that we, and by we, it's not just me, I'm what the culture feeling. We stopped feeling sorry for him weeks, months ago. Y'all, we got to get into this because I have to admit, when I read this article, I actually chuckled to myself because I literally was like, all I saw was that SpongeBob meme with Squidward putting on his glasses, and he was like, y'all hear something? Diddy's on a hunger strike. Now, I do want to say this, right? One of you guys actually gave a really good breakdown of what actually might be going on. And I think y'all might be right. But before I get into your theory, let me actually tell you what the streets are actually saying. Who said this? Tia Wells. Tia Wells, 290 girl, shout out to you because you put a whole different spin on this that really got me looking at things a lot different. But in the meantime, right, let's get into what Diddy is doing in his hunger strike. Again, can I say this? Diddy's hunger strike, I will be the first and last to say, I don't even think that Diddy's been locked up for 5 calendar days. What hunger strike? Boy, you're just doing some intermittent fasting. And I saw that dad bod bouncing around Miami. I know that Diddy is on the thin side. And how old is Diddy? Like 60? He's on the thin side, but I saw that belly. I saw that cert belly. I saw that beer belly. I don't know what's going on, but you are just doing some intermittent fasting. You better stop because according to YouTube, you're going to really start around the 6th day of just going on a water fast. Your mind is going to clear and you are truly going to start like understanding, you know? So anyway, shut up, Diddy, doing intermittent fasting, talk about he on a hunger strike. And you know what? I do believe that Diddy's team and Diddy's lawyers are so ridiculous that he probably like woke up late for breakfast one day because he's in solitary confinement. He probably woke up late for breakfast one day and then he was on the phone with them like, yo, I'm hungry. Can they get me some eggs? You know, take that, take that. And the lawyers are like, you know what? Say he on a hunger strike. That's going to get the girls going. That's going to wake them up. We're going to gag the girls, say he on a hunger strike, and watch how the public rallies around him. Meanwhile, we're like, listen, God's will be done. Who am I? Who am I to question the grand scheme of things? Okay, let's first get into the reports that he is on a hunger strike. They said Paranoid Diddy isn't eating in jail where he's being held with the same Sam Bankman-Fried. I think Sam Bankman-Fried was like some cult leader. I don't know. Look up his case. Anyway, right? Everybody in that jail has been accused of doing something heavy hitting. Now, whether they're guilty or not, that remains to be seen. But everybody being held is being accused of doing some crazy mess. Okay. Let me just get comfortable. All right. Okay. Here we go. Sean Diddy Combs is paranoid. Someone, now here's the thing. Okay, so here we go. Sean Diddy Combs is paranoid. Okay, now he's paranoid that someone may poison him and he is refusing to eat jail food, according to a former inmate. Other inmates say that he is going on a hunger strike because he feels that he has been treated unfairly. Larry Levine, who served a sentence at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where Diddy has been housed since he was sensationally arrested last week, said he has a source with knowledge of the situation inside. I said, okay, I'm in. Tell me what your source knows, Larry. He said, imagine if someone paid someone off on the inside to poison this food, give him a heart attack, and he passes away. He said Diddy is reportedly refusing to eat due to fear and paranoia that he now has a target on his back. Now, here's the thing. Just because they paranoid doesn't mean they not out to get you. Diddy might be the next person up to get the Epstein special. They could literally have his name on Diddy roll call. Let's get into the Epstein special. I do want to say this though. You play with the big dogs, or rather the rabbit dogs. These violent delights that you sold your soul over, these violent delights have violent ends. And you are now on the violent end part. You were involved, maybe, with, we'll see if it gets proven in court, a conspiracy to exploit the souls and bodies of people's sons and daughters, people's mothers and fathers. You were reaping all the benefits of this, if it can be believed that you were producing pee and circulating it, selling it, doing all this stuff. I have those indictment papers. We'll read them in a second. If that can be proven, right? And we also have Cassie, we have Little Rod, and you've made all this time and money from doing all this stuff. Now you got caught. The evidence is there. The interference and false narratives that you like to run aren't really sticking like they used to. And now you're mad that you're the only one that's going down? Well, baby, there is a solution to that. You, my friend, can cooperate. You, my friend, can turn federal cooperation. Now, admittedly, you're probably looking at a zillion years in jail. And by cooperating, they will give you a million years in jail. To those of us that are not sitting in jail on federal schmex trafficking charges, and as much as people say me delighting in Diddy's downfall, my time's going to come. It might, but it's not going to be schmex trafficking. I guarantee you that. It's not going to give you prostituting. I guarantee you that. It's not going to be on anything weird. I guarantee you that. Anyway, right? You, now to those of us sitting at home, someone offering you a zillion years in jail and a million years in jail, you might be like, what's the point? I would never. But to the person that is looking at whether they will ever be able to see sunlight again or not, well, a plea deal might look good. On top of that, you actually might need federal protection because these big dogs, these big wigs, whoever it was that you were itching, that sick desire and satisfying, if you can believe it, Diddy has maintained his innocence. Their sick needs, right? You were benefiting from their money, their power, their stuff. Maybe they do have the power, but again, and maybe they do have the power to hurt you. But again, I would say to Sean Diddy Combs, that sounds like a you problem. And I don't see why we should be involved in it. Again, that sounds like a you problem, Diddy. But let's get back into this alleged hunger strike. 1 second, y'all. Let's get into this alleged hunger strike, okay? Okay, we'll get into the alleged hunger strike. Let's get back into this, okay? But first, let's talk about his paranoia, because I do think that this might be well placed in the fact that I would be worried about them trying to get the Epstein special too. You got secrets, and if you go away, so do all their problems. So why not let Diddy go bye-bye? But Diddy, you should have been thinking that before you were having that freak off at the holiday, and you should have thought before you was running around like a demon in these streets. Everybody, have you not seen A Devil's Advocate? Have you not read the Bible? Everybody knows what happens if you make a deal with the devil. However, there's always some people that don't care or think they're smarter than the devil, and then they make the deal and they reap the benefits. And when it's time to pay the piper, they're like, what? You mean my eternal soul and damnation? What? Like, honestly, we know what happens when you make deals with evil people. Anyway, they said if someone got to one of the correction officers, this could happen. They don't make a lot of money, and there's people out there that he's got stuff on that do have a lot of money. All this is true, but Diddy, you should have thought of this before you got into whatever sick things you were getting into. Again, there's a cure for this. It's called flip. Turn witnesses. Go into witness protection. Put your kids in witness protection. Nobody's saying that your family should be hurt. Nobody's saying that Diddy should even, because I want him to be alive and well and standing trial, right? But at the end of the day, you want us to feel sorry that you may be mixed up with very powerful people that you did very sick things for. And because you did it, you might be in danger. I get that. But what are you offering us as the public? What are you offering us? Because when we let you go, you're going to go back to drinking the blood of virgins, right? You're going to be unrepentant. You might even speed it up because you're like, we only got one life. We got to have as many freak offs as we can. So again, I say to as the public, Diddy, what's in it for us? You want us to let you go? You want us to care? Are you going to talk? Are you going to expose? Are you going to tell? Are you going to repent? Are you going to do anything to stop this circle of violent delights and violent ends? Are you going to do anything to stop it? Because if you're not, again, that sounds like a you problem. And we are just going to sit here and watch. Again, how is this our problem? Anyway, people are inside are saying that Diddy is really, really paranoid. He's really, really scared. Doesn't know what to think. Doesn't know who to trust and what to believe. Believe your ASS is in trouble. Believe the people you are protecting probably want you out. Trust that we are going to sit there and watch until you are ready to do something to help society as a whole. Talk. That's all you got to do. I don't understand how people feel sorry. I did all this stuff, and the people that I did it with might murk me. Oh, okay. Well, we have witness protection for that. We can keep you alive and the people you love, but you're going to have to help us bring them down. Oh, no. I'm just scared. Somebody help me. You want our help. So you can't. I'm sorry. What are we doing here? I would have just hung up the phone. You have a collect call from Sean Combs. I would have been like, yeah, okay, click. Anyway, Diddy's being housed in the same unit as crypto scammer Sam Bankman-Fried. The area reportedly has a capacity for 18 to 20 inmates and is generally reserved for high-profile people and those cooperating with the authorities. See, Diddy, you are housed in an area that has 18 or 20 people that are either high-profile criminals, alleged criminals, or they're cooperating with the feds. Now, here's the thing. I don't believe the feds put him there by accident. The feds are probably like, why don't you go talk to your little jailhouse? Why don't you go talk to your little jailhouse friends? Go talk to them. Let them know. Witness protection is fun. That's where all the cool kids go. You can eat dinner. You can be alive. You don't have to. Witness protection is fun. Go talk to your little friends. I do believe that the feds put him in that unit where there were a lot of people under federal protection in that unit to kind of let him know that's what all the cool kids are doing. They said Diddy is still on S watch. A shrink is coming to see him several times a day. You know, here's the thing. I don't want anyone to harm themselves, right? I like for people to actually experience the consequences of their actions. But Diddy is allegedly on S watch. But I find it odd that only when he believes that he might be held accountable for his actions are his people talking about, oh my God, he might hurt himself. See, when Cassie's complaint came out, you literally lied, and then put up stuff saying, enough is enough. I'm sick of this. And you basically threatened to go after anyone saying you did something to Cassie. You lied to us. The tape dropped. This drop, the little Rod's lawsuit drop. We saw you attack a malign, try to run a smear campaign. We saw everything. We saw you in New York. You was Diddy bopping. You probably actually thought you was going to get away with it. Why? Because you were literally doing witness intimidation, running game on witnesses, doing this, doing that, according to the feds. You thought you were going to get off. You thought that you could go against the United States government and sabotage the whole case and make sure you walk free, right? All that whole time, you're in great spirits. You're feeling good. You out there with Stevie J walking around. It's only when the thought that you are going to have to pay for what you did actually becomes real. Now you're on Suey watch. Shut up. I don't even believe that, but shut up. Really? You shad? Hurt your feelings? You don't want to work with me no more? Okay. You mad because now you feel depressed because now all the things that you were like ain't never going to happen to me, it finally happened. And again, the people you lied to, the people you maligned to, the people that you literally gaslit, we're supposed to say sorry. Man, Diddy trying to have a freak off with the nation. He's trying to have a freak off with the nation. Anyway, let's keep going. But here's the thing. They said this is actually really normal. New inmates protest against the food they offer. They said Diddy is being held in isolation. Um, and they said that the food he is receiving is likely very cold and grim. Again, that sounds like a you problem. They feed the people in the shoe last. That's what they call isolation. The food is bland. It's a lot of carbohydrates. Now they want us to know that Diddy can't keep up with his high protein diet. Okay, hold on. They fill you up on carbohydrates. It fills you up, but you get sick eating it. There's mold in a lot of the food. Maybe he got sick from the food. That's another possibility. Okay, if there's mold in the food, we need to talk about that, but not for Diddy, for the other inmates that are there. Diddy pleaded not guilty. Okay, hold on. There's another article I have. This actually one is really funny. Hold on. Okay, so again, there's another thing. They're saying that other people are saying he stopped eating in jail because he is going on a hunger strike. He feels that if he takes himself to the point of the edge, the public that still has a soft spot for him will rally together and demand that he be transported to a more humane detention center. Now, I do want to say one thing. We saw Diddy and the ticket sales to the Bad Boy reunion concert. And I would just like to say that good luck on finding this groundswell of motivation you speak of. Okay, right? They're saying that okay, so back to the possibility of a hunger strike. Okay, so they're saying it's only can be three things. One, he thinks he's going to be poisoned. Two, he is going on a hunger strike. Or three, the food is nasty and he can't eat it. I would actually tend to think, right? I would like to say that get this. I think it's more likely Diddy thinks that food is nasty and he doesn't want to eat it. Because listen to this. I dug this up. This is directly from Yahoo News. They said Diddy has been in touch with his children. We'll talk about that in a second. A dietitian, a lawyer, and a minister during his first week in pretrial detention. He's not even in jail yet. He's in pretrial detention. So all this stuff of him being in a hunger strike, once again, it looks like the truth is Diddy's ego is still big and he finds the food disgusting. But listen, somebody gave me an interesting theory and I just want to put it out there because there is some truth to what she says. Hold on, y'all. This is actually really important. Details emerge about wait, did I send the right thing? Hold on. I thought I had it. Hold on. We're going to talk about that. Tia Wells. What's up, Tia? She said this. I want to say P. Diddy not eating could be because he's trying to connect with other spiritual demons to help him. Now, for those of y'all that aren't religious, put this to the side. It doesn't matter whether you believe in God, demons, whatever, whether you're religious. People that do this type of stuff, they believe in it. They believe it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like people that believe they're going to win the lottery. You could stand there all day and be like, you ain't never going to win the lottery. But they do. That's why they're standing in line. They think there's a possibility. So let me just start over. She said, I want to say P. Diddy not eating could be because he's trying to connect with other spiritual demons to help him. Because even religious people know that by fasting It can help you not only manifest things you want, but it can also connect you to other spiritual beings on the other side. It wouldn't surprise me if that's why he's not eating, etc. Just saying. And honestly, here's the thing. If Diddy is into that whole thing, lots of people fast because they want to clear their minds. Fasting in religion has something as old as time, but people also fast to connect to certain levels of understanding, or if you think about it, levels of other where there are spiritual beings or demons in order to clear. And I do want to say this, right? Even though I might roll my eyes when sometimes people talk about this and that, you have to admit that a lot of celebrities, if there's somebody like on the train talking about sacrificing chickens and stuff, why wouldn't somebody that got a lot of money also believe in that? Celebrities often do believe, not all of them, of course, but sometimes you hear some of them say they feel like they have this gift. God gave them this power in front of them. And I guess it's a big ego trip to stand in front of a stage in front of like 30,000 people and have everybody bowing at your feet, hanging on to every word, rejoicing and celebrating you. I feel like sometimes people can start to feel that they are truly divine ordered, gods among men, goddesses among men. Do you know what I'm saying? And you think about the way people react to them in real life. Oh my God, like there's something, like there's otherworldly, like they have this power, they have this whatever, right? So I can see if somebody buys into that I'm not like all the other humans, I'm different. That if someone buys into that, then why wouldn't they buy into the fact of the spiritual realm, not eating, fasting, and manifesting? Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that anything that can be used for good can also be used for evil. As much as people are trying to manifest their dream life, I'm sure there's another Jeffrey Dahmer trying to manifest being an even bigger Jeffrey Dahmer. Again, people pray, ask for, focus on, and try to bring fruition very different things. But anyway, I thought that was really, really cool what Tia was actually saying. And I thought that yeah, I thought that was super interesting. DeAndre, Chia, thank you for the super chat. Sunflower 24.99 said commercial time, like, oh, thank you. You said commercial time, like, subscribe, share. Y'all know what it is, baby. It's YouTube. You know how it works. Thank you so much. Let me just read that comment really quick. You said commercial time, like, subscribe, share. 500K is 25K away. Woo! Tisa, you don't work for free, governor. Thank you. You work too hard on both sides of the pond. We know your value. Thank you so much, Sunflower. I do appreciate that with all my heart. You guys, this is commercial time. Before we get inside to these jailhouse calls to his kids, I do want to say something very, very interesting, though. Something I find very interesting. I find it funny that, and I said this yesterday, Diddy's people are giving me crackhead energy. The way they keep moving around narrative after narrative after narrative because they want something to stick. Case in point, was it not one business day ago? Was it not one business day ago when you told us that Diddy's so concerned he can't speak to his children? He's scared. What are his children? And now we find out he's been talking to him on the phone the whole time. Okay, Diddy. DeAndre Uchia, thank you so much for another super sticker. Also, Dory Angel said, Diddy is addictive, so it will not last long. He'll eat if he gets hungry enough. Some humans can't go to bed hungry nightly. He's never been grateful for anything. I feel you on that. There are some people that really can't miss meals, can't go to bed hungry. Diddy might be one of them. You can see he ain't never missed a meal. Like, he was well fed, pampered, all this stuff. I do agree. Howard, you bring up a good point. Diddy is in the throes of detox. Diddy is in the throes of detox. His close friends and everybody has come out and said that he has been addicted in a haze of addiction for the last 15 years. If you guys don't know, a well-respected journalist, Tory, Torre, which I did a live about his article. I have a lot of respect for. He is an amazing reporter, amazing investigative reporter. He came and said that Diddy's people, who he actually trusts to tell him the truth, gave him the story about everything that Diddy's going for. I actually said I have a lot of respect for Tory, and I know he trusts these people, but I don't trust those people because a lot of stuff they were telling him sounded like cap. And Tory is a respected journalist. He wouldn't he's not up for sale. He wouldn't flip for Diddy. But there is such a thing where it's like your sources are not being entirely honest. Now, why would that be? Because Diddy is right now in a RICO charge. And I don't think that people realize if Diddy goes down, he's going to take a lot of people with him. So these sources might be running interference for Diddy, not because they know anything, not because they're trying to save Diddy, but because if they don't save themselves, they have to save themselves through Diddy. Again, I did a live about that. Go ahead and check it. Or maybe he knows what he's saying. I know we're just saying our opinion, and I have a lot of respect for him, but I think the sources that are coming from the Diddy camp, I think they have ulterior motives. And it wouldn't be the first time. Also, HR said he was raised by Harlem. His crimes took place in the Hamptons. Own your pervs, New York. Okay. I mean, good point. On your pervs, New York. Let's get into also where are we at? Let's get into the next stuff. Sources say that Diddy's kids are taking his incarceration really hard. Is there any family member when someone gets arrested or incarcerated, they don't feel sad? Especially when you consider the fact that Diddy's kids, that's their role model. And well, I don't know about role model, but it's definitely their breadwinner. They say it's heartbreaking. The state they're in, he's always been a loving father. Yeah, that's the thing, right? To them. But I find this as being all cap. I think that there's nothing or no one Diddy won't throw under the bus in order to get out. And that's including even his children, which, by the way, People magazine has an insight into the jailhouse call. Now, you might be saying, how would they have insight into the jailhouse call? Quite simply, Diddy's lawyers and team are leaking to all the papers because they're trying to drum up public sympathy. No one cares. And this isn't anything about his children because I actually feel bad for his children that they have to suffer. I wish their father was someone else. I wish in an alternative reality, their father hadn't allegedly, according to the complaints, sex trafficking, been incredibly violent, beaten, threatened, abused, and invaded other people's bodily autonomy. I wish in a different world that Diddy wasn't who we now believe him to be. But he is, and we just got to deal with that. Okay, let's get into this. John Diddy Combs has briefly spoken to his children from jail as they're in shock over the charges. But here's the funny thing. Again, Diddy, that sounds like a you problem. Diddy's lawyer told us in the bail hearing transcript that Diddy and his lawyers knew that he was going to be indicted. And they knew what the charges were going to be. He told us that they knew back in May that he was going to be indicted. And they knew back in May what the charges were going to be. So if you knew back in May, and you also said you flew to New York so he could turn himself in. So which is true? Did you know back in May and you flew to New York to turn yourself in? Or did you have no clue what was going to happen and your kids are now shell-shocked? Because both can't be true. Diddy, this sounds like a we problem, a me problem, a you problem, right? Sorry, I went through every we, me, you, they. I went through every option I could. It sounds like a you problem, Diddy, because if you knew you were going to get arrested and you knew all this stuff was coming, why don't you talk to your kids about it? That's not what good fathers do. Good fathers, when they know an indictment's coming and you could be arrested at any moment, you start explaining to your kids, sit down, dad do bad things. Dad have freak off bad. Dad might go to jail. He gonna have freak off in jail. Dad be happy. Anyway, sorry, y'all. Let me go back to this and start being serious. They said, also for everybody, thank you so much with my throat. I'm not overworking. I actually had a celebration. This is the sound of happiness. had a celebration. My friend birthday and also big accomplishment. This is the sound of happiness. So it does appear I'm losing my throat, but for happy reasons. Okay, so where else are we on? Okay. They said the music mogul and the father of seven was arrested on September 16th and remains behind bars after pleading not guilty. Sean Diddy Combs awaits trial behind the bars. He's been limited to brief contact with his seven children. First of all, your lawyer is in contact every day. He called you on the phone. Have your lawyer call your people three-way and talk to your kids all you want. You can stay on the phone with the lawyer for 12 hours if you want. Have your kids call him three-way or have them come to the jailhouse. Literally, say we just hired Justin Combs as the clerical assistant. Come on, let's just go to your daddy's jail. Anyway, right? Da, 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 da. A source with knowledge of the situation tells people that the music mogul, who's dad to a whole basketball team, basically, has been able to speak briefly to family members and his children via phone. He's very concerned about his kids and their well-being. He has three minor children, two of whom are now have no living parent available with him incarcerated. Four of his seven children have neither parent available with him incarcerated. Again, that sounds like a you problem, Diddy. If you didn't want your kids to not have their father around, you shouldn't have been doing freak offs. Anyway, get this. They're saying that Quincy was Kim Porter's son with Albie Shore, and Diddy later adopted him. They said that the Combs kids are in a state of crisis and shock following their father's arrest. One of the reasons that they are allegedly in a state of crisis and shock is the fact that Diddy, right, is the fact that Justin and Christian were very, very tied up to Diddy, the Bad Boy organization, and the thing. I think they're actually worried that they might be pulled into the grand jury indictment and that they want Diddy to talk and that they want Diddy to actually flip. I'm 100% sure they wouldn't hesitate to get an opportunity to bring charges against them so that maybe that will make Diddy be like, even if you don't care about yourself, what about your children? You're in a state of crisis and shock. Okay. Da, 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 da. The kids are in a state of crisis and shock. It's heartbreaking to see the children in the state they're in. This is their father, but to them, he's not Diddy. He's dad. He's always been a loving, devoted father. And you know what? I think that's great. And when you go to court and you see rapists or people that murder, like everybody got somebody that loved them. Everybody got somebody that's been good. Like, I get it. I get it. And this isn't in any way trying to disparage the personal hell his children are going through. But at the end of the day, is this not what justice looks like? Like, do you think someone is just an unrepentant monster and never digs anything good for anybody? That's not the way life works. But again, I don't understand what they're trying to do with these pup pieces. I really don't understand. Like, I, the, listen, Diddy said he's going to fight this with all his energy and all his might and the full confidence of his lawyers. And I expect a long battle with good results. I know you do, Mark Ingophilia, just like you expected he would be released on bail, just like you expected all these charges would be dismissed, just like you just expected there would be no arrest, just like you expected that all of the people pressing charges against him are lying. You expect no, you wish and you hope. And right now, that wishing and hoping is not doing good. So also at the same time, TMZ also wrote a piece to boost Diddy. I said it for a long time that I think TMZ is very, very cozy with Diddy's lawyers, and nothing's changed because they are the only people writing very positive, uplifting things about Diddy. Do what you can. I wonder how much they're being paid to do this. I'm being serious. Like TMZ, anyway. Diddy kids remain supportive, maintaining relationships. Diddy's seven children are still firmly in their father's corner despite his arrest, indictment, and some serious allegations. Sources familiar to the situation tell TMZ all of Diddy's kids are supportive of him and stand behind him. adding they love their dad and think he's a great father. Okay, and good for them. But correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are we having a Father of the Year contest, or is this a? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Great, you gonna live Father of the Year, but I don't think we're running for Father of the Year. We're told all of Diddy's sons and daughters have a wonderful relationship with them and will continue to maintain those close relationships, even though he's in custody after being indicted on sex trafficking, kidnapping, and racketeering charges. Our sources say Diddy's twin daughters, 17-year-old Delilah and Jesse, are keeping their father in their daily prayers and remain hopeful he'll be released from jail. We're told they haven't read the indictment and have no interest in doing so. First of all, I think that's an MF and lie. There ain't no way those kids have not either read the indictment or know what's going on. Again, as much as they try to act like Jesse and Delilah are 4 years old, these girls are 17, about to turn 18. They were Diddy's daughters. They were on the yacht when freak-offs were happening. They were in the home when freak-offs were happening. Now, Diddy does have a huge mansion, so it's not like they were sitting in the same room. They were around at Diddy's parties where women were saying they were inebriated and this and that. You cannot tell me that these kids don't know about their daddy's lifestyle. You can't tell me. He act like he literally had them like up in like a Catholic school in like the Swiss Alps, and they came home, Papa, hello, Papa. Like they've been gone so long, they got French accents. Like they were in your lifestyle. They saw the things we saw when they were getting on the yacht, right? The girl that accused Christian of raping her on the yacht. We saw when Diddy was getting on that yacht, he took everybody's phones, even his kids' phones, and put them in the pouch because couldn't nobody have a phone until the vacation was over. Did y'all think that was normal? When you went over to your other rich friend's house, did you have to give up your phone when you got on the yacht? Y'all was on the yacht where Diddy was having his freak offs at worst. But even if you listen to Diddy's attorney and you say, okay, fine, maybe you're telling the truth. Let me hear what you got to say. They said that all that kinky stuff happened, but it was consensual. So even if it wasn't illegal and it was consensual, you had all your kids, Mr. Loving Father, on a yacht that was nothing but a floating freak off center. And you trying to tell us that Diddy's kid, okay, like, okay, this is not The Sound of Music. Y'all was not raised up in this, like, shut up. You were there on the yachts. Diddy had his kids center in his lifestyle. He had his mom getting IVs with them, partying after said freak. Like, it is what it is. Anyway, right? Diddy's older sons were with them at court last week, but the twins are hanging back in California. We're told they have a great support team around them, including Kimora Lee Simmons and their late mother, Kim Porter's longtime friend, Lala. Sources say the twins view Lala and Kimora as mother figures, and they're both doing their best to make sure the girls are not focused on Diddy's arrest. Instead, making sure the girls are empowered and protected during this time. Now, for that, good. I'm glad they have something. It's very tragic that they don't have their mom right now. And even though one has to think, if Kim Porter was alive, you think she'd be standing up on both feet clapping? You think she would have joined Cassie's lawsuit? You think she would have brought up a lawsuit herself? It makes you wonder, as much as they want to act like Kim Porter, those kids knew what their dad did to their mom. They were there for half of it. At the end of the day, Kim's always been a loving mom. Cassie didn't have any children. So when Diddy busted her face open, Cassie said he sent her off to Dubai or his private island, Love Island, to Hill with nobody. Kim didn't have that luxury, assuming all the rumors are true about him putting his hands and feet on Kim. Kim didn't have that luxury. So when her face was healing, the kids were there. The kids had to see it, right? Unless she went bye-bye for a couple of weeks. If not, the kids actually knew. It makes you wonder. It's so sad the kids don't have both parents, but it makes you wonder, if their mom was here, would she be standing up clapping? Would she have joined? Would she have found her power? Right? Would she? Let's also not forget that, with the whole Kim thing, Diddy, again, if you felt so strongly about your kids having a father in their life, why were you doing all this stuff? I understand, though, from the kids' point of view, those girls are innocent. They ain't had nothing to do with what the father did. That does not mean that their father should get off, but it is good to know that they got Kimora and also Lala to actually look after them, keep them shielded, and help them. Because whatever Diddy did to his life and other people's lives, those kids should still have a chance at becoming healthy, happy, functioning people, lest we see generational curses and learned behavior repeat themselves. Anyway, um, Diddy's being held in the detention center. Diddy's mother and some of his kids have spoken to him by phone since he's been locked up. Now, this is interesting. And this brings me to my point of bringing up this article. They said that Diddy's kids remain supportive, and they went out of the way to say all the kids are supportive, and all the kids love Diddy, and all the kids this, and all the kids that. And I said, okay, I got it. But then this, Diddy's mother and some of his kids have spoken to him by phone since he's been locked up. Who's not speaking to him? See, here's the thing. Diddy has a lawyer. The lawyer can tell the kids, told the whole family, yo, we're going to talk to your dad. I'm going to call your dad at this time. Make sure you're available. I'll do a 3-way call. Sorry. We could talk on the phone. Simple enough, right? They run this article about how every one of Diddy's kids is standing by him. But if they all standing by him, why did some of them not speak to him on the phone? What were they doing? Going to get milk? They didn't know. They can't say that because Diddy's lawyer 100% said, we are going to, this lawyer 100% said, we are going to call at this time, make sure you guys are available. So it makes me think, and again, this could be nothing. Maybe all of Diddy's kids aren't fully supportive. Maybe they're very, very angry that he put them in the situation. Now, who could that be? Well, this is all hypothetical. But if I had to guess, there's Christian and there's Justin. Christian is deep by Diddy's side, but he aspires to be a mini Diddy, right? He's the one that wrote a diss track to the feds, and then the feds dropped that compilation video. He taunted the feds. His dad got arrested. He said some smart stuff to the feds. The house got raided. Christian seems to be a soldier for his daddy and really wants to be a baby Diddy, right? However, Justin's interesting, right? Now, Justin is in charge of a lot of Diddy stuff. Justin got into Harvard. Misa was so proud. Diddy convinced him to not go to Harvard, come to LA, do UCLA. No. And that way you can learn from me and work the business, because when I go, he told Justin he was going to inherit everything. Not Quincy, the boy that he said is just like a father and he adopted, but he told Justin that Justin was going to run everything. Now, the interesting thing about that is when Justin was in UCLA, as you remember when he tried to crack open the assistant football, UCLA football coach's head with the kettlebell because he didn't like the way he was talking to Justin. The authorities did not arrest, but it definitely happened. It's documented. You guys can go look it up. As a matter of fact, everything I'm saying, go Google. You don't got to believe me. Go Google. But before you Google, at least listen to my video instead of just reading the headline and running with it. Because as you guys know, it's been 43 minutes. I am long-winded, but we get to the point, right? So anyway, Diddy almost cracked it open. Justin went through a lot. He ended up, I think, leaving school. Diddy told him, don't worry about that school, which makes me think maybe Diddy is actually really jealous of his sons and just sabotages them. Because even though Justin is 3 apples high, he was actually pretty good at football. Now, once somebody hit him, I don't know if he'd ever be able to get up and recover, but he was good, like running, right? Diddy said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to retire, and you going to take care of the whole company. And Justin was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, you going to take care of everything. I'm retiring in the next couple of years. Come on over, focus on this full time, and you going to take the keys to the kingdom. Justin walked away from everything. He focused on everything full time. What did he do? Diddy said a few months later, guess what? I'm not retiring. I still got a lot of life left in me. He has played Justin over and over again. We saw Misa be like, you're not going to do this time, posting pictures of a mama lion roaring, this is what I do to protect. You saw Misa saying, I'm sick of everybody trying to act like ain't nothing wrong with you. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that, which oddly enough, as much as Misa is trying to show support, because if Diddy goes down, they all go down. I'm sure the prosecution is going to show in the trial that stuff that Misa said. But my point is, Misa, people are saying that months ago, was telling Justin, your brothers are too far gone. Your dad will take everybody down with them. You need to focus on yourself and saving yourself. Your dad is not the man that you think he is. Your daddy has screwed over everyone from Biggie to Craig Mack to close friends and confidence. Your dad does not care about anybody himself. Assuming that these reports are right, Nisa could have said the opposite. All right. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just repeating what I heard. Go do your own research and decide for yourself what you choose to believe based off your own research. But Misa has been encouraging Justin to do what he needs to do to make sure he can grow up and have a life and have children and make a way for himself, and that his father's shenanigans were not going to come to pass and just destroy his whole life. So if you believe the stories that Misa is trying to get Justin to save himself, and if you believe the stories that Justin is now looking at his dad like, yo, you put all of this in a situation for your own crazy selfishness. They're saying that they're looking at Justin. They're looking at Diddy. Sorry, his friends were saying that he's been a crackhead for the last 15 years, right? Or a drug addict for the last 15 years. So if he's been a drug addict for the last 15 years and he's been in and out of a haze, how can he be a doting, loving father? How are you a doting, loving father when you've been an addict for the last 15 years, fueled by, like, what did Charlamagne say? By lust and by power and the sex. That's what Charlamagne said. How? How could you be a doting father? Does anybody know anybody that is an addict? Does an addict give a who, what? Apart from a high when they're in the throes of addiction, they don't care. Mothers leave their babies to starve to go out and search for $5 in crack rock. Do you really honestly believe? Right? Which is why I believe that drug addict thing for 15 years. I think that's all cap. I think he's been a functioning user, but I don't believe that whole thing. But my whole point is, maybe the truth is stranger than fiction. Maybe Justin is like, yo, this man has been a cracky for the last 15 years. This dad, yeah, I know the cap about you being a dad. I was there. I saw the arguments. We saw the violence. We saw this. We saw that. We saw the way you treated our moms. We saw the way you treated the best friends. We know who you are. And it's a wrap, right? So you have that going. And that's fine enough. You have that going. But at the end of the day, when you have that going, and then you couple it with the fact that TMZ is running this odd article that Diddy's kids are taking his incarceration really hard. He's always been a loving dad, and they all support him, and they all this and all that. So who's the kid that ain't answered the phone call? Who's the kid that when they were like, yo, we're about to call dad, he was like, oh, I got to go get some banana now and later. So bodega just got some in. What you want, a watermelon Laffy Taffy? All right, I got you. That's what you need to actually wonder. Who is the child, right? That the children that have not spoken to him. Because to me, it sounds like they actually might have an attitude. They actually might feel some type of way. And they actually might have been like everybody else around Diddy saying, you're going too hard. This is too much. Can you please slow down? And because of Diddy's ego and his greed and his whatever, it all fell down. Anyway, they saying Diddy's mom and his IV partner and white fingernail princess, Diddy's mom and some of the kids, not all, have spoken to him by phone since he's been locked up. Unclear what those conversations have been about, but Diddy still got his family to lean on. I thought that was very, very interesting that they would even say that Diddy's family still supports him. It's almost as if some of them don't support, and some of them are thinking about flipping, and some of them are thinking about saving themselves for the future. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Anyway, let me get back into this. There's a few other things I want to talk about. Oh, do y'all know what was something interesting? So do y'all know the Art of Dialogue? Of course you do. If you haven't followed the Art of Dialogue, please go follow them along with Uncle Gene's channel. They are doing sit-down interviews like no one's business. Beautiful camera quality, super professional, really engaging, but also they be getting people in there that be spilling juice. And it really does look like a professional documentary, right? Where are we at, right? Oh, let me get into these really quick. Okay, hold on. OG Mrs. T said, imagine Diddy getting catcalled and kissed by the other inmates, asking him if he got any extra baby on the commissary, making him their B. Diddy might like that. Diddy was in the Violent Delights. He actually might like that. Catcall and kiss. He might be walking down there like, stop it, stop it. You know, when like your crush is looking at you, you put an extra sway in your step. You know, he is the belle of the ball. He might like it. What's up, Mel Bethel? Mel Bethel said, TT, in the movie Monsters Ball, which Diddy was in with Holly Berry and Billy Bob Thornton, Diddy's character was in jail and got the death penalty. That movie was in 2001. I remember that movie. Mel, I never watched Monsters Ball. I got to go watch it though. I wonder if it's true, life imitating art. Good one, Mel. Thank you so much. Sheila Moreau, thank you so much for becoming a member. Sunflower 2429 said, oh, okay. Torre had a cousin, Torre. I like to call him Tori. Torre had a cousin that was an intern at Bad Boys, and Diddy tried to essay the boy. Joy Reid interviewed Torre in March, and he confirmed that. All right, listen, we got a lot of respect for Torre. You sure it's not Tory? It's spelled Tory. Anyway, we got a lot of respect for Torre, and a lot of respect. He's a great journalist, always been honest. I don't think that he's the one that's pushing a story. I do believe that his sources are putting 20 on 10. Not because they want to say Diddy, but because maybe they want to save themselves. But then again, I wasn't there. The sources was maybe they know what they're talking about. It's just what they're saying doesn't make sense currently. Well, what we currently know to be our vision of reality. Okay. Sunflower 2499. Sheila Moreau, thank you so much for the super sticker. Louise, thank you so much for being a new member. Also, Kim G said, T said, we need a PowerPoint presentation on all the demise around people surrounding Diddy. That's a great idea, Kim. That's a great idea. I'm going to make one. Frey, thank you so much for the super chat. You said, I have a theory about pneumonia. Reaching. It's deadly, no antidote treatment. It's hard to detect in a body. Some symptoms: fever, chest tightness, cough, breathing problems, fluid buildup in the lungs, known as pulmonary edema. Okay, yeah. So Richen, I guess it's a substance that gives people the symptoms of pneumonia. It's deadly and there's no antidote for it. And it gives you the symptoms of pneumonia, much like Kim Porter passed away. It's hard to detect in the body. Some symptoms: fever, chest tightness, cough, breathing problems, fluid buildup in the lungs, known as pulmonary edema. Let me tell you something also. We did an interview the other day, and as much as I clowned Albie Shore for being a horrible father, or deadbeat dad for much of it, forget about this. Remember when Al did say that he believed that Diddy gave him something that put him in the hospital for 3 months. And he is, well, for months, and he literally is still trying to recover from that. People have said, and we don't know how true it is or not, but people have said that Diddy is largely responsible for putting things in people's, drinks, this, that, and a third. It really makes you think, though, right? It really makes you think that if all that is true, then maybe, and people have said that Diddy did something to Kim Porter. Maybe that's why Diddy, if he is paranoid, because it can be choose your own adventure, if he is actually paranoid and this isn't a hunger strike, or he just doesn't like the food, maybe because he's done it to so many people, he knows, right? Maybe because he's done it to so many people, he knows it can happen to him. And that is one of the very reasons why he is not eating anything. Okay, ready? Last thing where I was like, ooh, the plot thickens, right? Remember Freddie did it? Oh, Mel Bethel said, by the way, why does Lala always seem to be up in messy folks' business? Kim K, Diddy, I wish the kids well, though. I really do. Wait, is Lala from Kim K, or is this a different Lala? Oh, I thought it was a different Lala. Let me check, because if this is Lala from Lala, well, that means something. Just to let you guys know, I wanted to play you this. So the Art of Dialogue did a sit-down interview with Freddie from The Making of the Man. It's a great interview. There was one clip in the interview that I wanted to play you guys. It's really short, but it actually looks like the plot thickens. This was around circa 1999, 2003, somewhere in this when Making It Bad was on. Remember when they went to go get cheesesteak? Well, there was a second half of that story that nobody knew because they weren't going to get cheesecake. They weren't going to get cheesecake for Diddy. They were going to get cheesecake for someone else, and you'll never guess who it is. Listen to this really quick. Um, Listen to this really quick and wait for the plot twist because it is good. Oh, here we go.
I know that cheesecake we went and got was for Beyonce. She was upstairs the whole time. What we was talking about again? Hold on. Yeah, that's a fun fact people don't know. People like, y'all walked, we got a cheesecake. It was for Beyonce. I'll do it again. But yeah, because at first he was like, I want some cheesecake. But we took all night to do the process, right? So when we got back, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. And me and Dallon got back first. Let me tell you how green these niggas is. So I'm the type of nigga. I listen to everything you say as if it's a contract. So if you say, walk to the store, or walk and give me some cheesecake, I'll walk and give you some cheesecake. But I'm not walking back. And that's just what me and Dallon did. And they like, why y'all
Dallon,
y'all cheating. We like, he told us to walk. He didn't tell us to walk back. So we already in the hotel like 3 hours before they got there. When they said they was coming, we went and met them in front of the building. And you know the first thing that said out of his mouth? He said, we got the cheesecake. He was like, I want that shit. Take that shit upstairs for Beyonce. Then he said, it was like, yeah, man, we want to tell you, Fred and Dallon, they ain't walk back. You know, trying to be on some snakes and shit. He's like, I didn't tell you niggas to walk back. I didn't tell you niggas to walk back. Y'all walk back? Like, yeah. I'm like,
yeah. When I heard that too, I said, ooh, the plot thickens. Shout out to Victoria Alda Harpending. He said, thank you for all your hard work, style, and class. I really appreciate that. Y'all capping me up. But I'll tell you what, I know y'all swear I've been working so hard. I really enjoy chopping it up with y'all. I feel like we are having like a conversation with friends on the phone, you know? Yeah, we do reporting and nightly news, but this is like, I don't know, I feel like we have a family. I actually really enjoy coming on live, chopping up with y'all and do everything. But thank you guys so much for even like acknowledging anything that I do. I appreciate it. But yeah, getting back to that, the Beyonce mess, that's what I said. I said, wait, what? Beyonce was up in there, and I believe this is around the time that Jay-Z wasn't around. Now, here's the thing. I'm not implying that Beyonce was messing with Diddy. I am saying, what was Beyonce doing in Diddy's place? It was making of the band. Back then, Diddy was a big dog, and I believe Destiny Shaw and Beyonce were still growing and trying to get on. They were famous, but Diddy was the big dog. Why wouldn't they want to appear in an episode of Making of the Band? And I have questions. Was she there alone? Was Matthew there? Was Tina there? I know Jay-Z was there because they weren't even messing around at that time, or at least they shouldn't have. I think she was a little bit too young for that. He shouldn't have been. On top of that, what else is going on? Were the rest of Destiny's Child there? Why didn't they appear on Making of the Band? How come we never knew that you guys were close? What was she doing? And if they didn't know Beyonce was there, that means she wasn't in any of the recording studios. And he just told them to take it up to the hotel room and give it to Beyonce. Yo, what was Beyonce going there? Internet sleuths, we need to do our thing because I didn't even know that Diddy and Beyonce were even that close at all. The Cookie Secret said, as a child of an abusive father, those kids know. I agree with you. They're probably so embarrassed, can't wait until they are ready to speak. Trust me, their time will come. I agree. I agree with you. See, this is what people don't get, and I will stand firm. And I hope life makes a liar out of me when I say this. I truly believe that this trope that somebody can be an abusive husband, a liar, a cheat, an abuser, and then come home and be this loving, sweet father, that is not how humans work. If you are abusive, if you are cruel, if anytime somebody does not follow your will, you rise up in anger. Y'all, raise your hand if you got on every last one of your parents' nerves. Raise your hand if when you were growing up, you tap dance on your parents' nerves. I know I did. No one will make you lose your temper or get under your skin or do anything more than a child to a parent, especially as children start to get older and have their own thoughts, their own needs, their own this. So to say that Diddy raised a bunch of kids even through their teenage years and his famous temper never got activated, or when it did, right? And his controlling ways never got activated. And when it did, he talked to his children with kindness, compassion, and didn't you? Maybe, I hope that's the case. I hope the kids didn't suffer. But if Diddy had that much self control, then you had enough self control to treat somebody else's children with respect as well. Again, I don't buy these tropes that somebody can be this, that, and the third, but still a great parent. I just don't believe that. I think it's all cap. I think it's all BS. It's a lie. But like Michael Jackson, it's a lie. Come on now. It's a lie. They made it up. They're lying. Did y'all ever see that meme with Michael Jackson? That is one of the funniest memes I've ever seen. You know? Mel Beth, oh, girl's okay. She said the chat is saying it's a different Lala. My bad. She's messy. So I assumed it was her. Listen, Mel, it was a good guess. It was a good guess. And you had me writing notes like, oh, wait, Lala, let me go research this. I thought it was a different Lala. But Mel, girl, you don't have to apologize. We know what you meant, right? Your point stands, right? Your point stands. But the cookie secrets, again, for everybody that believes this about fathers, this, that, and this goes for mothers. Abusive people are abusive because it is about power. It is about control. They don't have communication skills, but also there's something with them that they want to complete, control, and dominate everybody. Okay. And I just don't think that he would turn that off, especially with teenage boys whose whole sole life is to say, no, I'm not doing that. Especially with teenage girls whose whole purpose in life is to be like, you're stupid. I'm not going to listen to you. It doesn't make sense that Diddy never saw his temper flare. And coupled with the fact that according to Diddy's people, he's been an addict for the last 15 years. What addict do you know that has, and he's been in a haze of drug use for the last 15 years. Every time we see him, apparently he was high as a kite, don't remember nothing. Then where did he get the self-control from to know what to do with his kids and how to act? Something ain't adding up. It's all lies, but something is not adding up, right? Oh, thank you. John Edmond says, she said, this is our family. Title tells for life. That's right. We are family. Shout out to John. Thank you so much. Fry said, everyone Kim tried to date after Diddy died of pneumonia. Reeking can murk a person within 3 days. As little as 500 micrograms can kill an adult. Now, Fry, that's actually really, really interesting because Kim, didn't they say that she was fine? And within 3 days, she passed away. Now, listen, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I think even the most conservative person, last year, they were laughing when we were talking about this, but even the most conservative person is reading like this Diddy stuff doesn't read like real life. And it's getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Y'all know what it's saying. Listen, anyway, let me get out of here. I'm going to try to go live one more time and talk about Diddy's daughter, Ava, and also the Justin Bieber stuff. But again, yeah, what was Beyonce doing in Diddy's hotel room? How old was she? Well, I don't know if she was in the hotel room, but how old was she? Why didn't she appear on TV? And how come we are just hearing about that? That's the thing I got to say about the art of dialogue. They be getting people from back in the day to sit down, and he has some of the best lighting, camera quality, everything I've ever seen, right? I wish I knew what he actually used, but probably can't afford it. But again, they get people from back in the day that are really telling their story, but they're not putting 20 on 10. They're not embellishing. They're not just making up stories. He really actually does interview and vet them, and they are telling real life stories that always happen. He was the first one that got Gene Dill on everybody's radar. Y'all, listen, go check out the Art of Dialogue on YouTube. They are doing their thing. They are doing their thing. Ava is supposed to be Diddy's adopted daughter. They've spoken out on that, but we did some research and we finally have something to say also with that Justin Bieber stuff. So let me get out of here so I can go and do one more live stream before y'all go to sleep. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for the super chats. and for sticking in there. The Rican Fried, thank you so much. I'm going to do my best to actually look into that. I really appreciate it. And with that, I will talk to y'all later, okay? Bye, everybody. I'll make sure I got all the super chats. Yeah. Okay, talk to y'all later.